Hello all, this is Jess from J Rose Alchemic Art, and welcome back to another video. In this one, we're going to be making some new clay things, working on a new wallpaper that I'm designing for my iPad, and doing a lot of life bits in between, so hopefully you enjoy it. We're first going to get started with some more life updates, but we'll go ahead.
The very first thing that we did when we came back home was we had a very lovely dinner that my fiance made. Looks quite delicious, but ignore the random candle in the middle. I think we've decided that officially that we won't have like any fancy like regular candles other than that, just because the cats are maybe just a little too interested, so none of that. But I also needed to work on a birthday gift actually for my dad. So my dad, we unfortunately missed his birthday because we were in Vegas at the time. So I wanted to make sure that we were going to celebrate that night, and I wanted to get this little cake ready for him. So for years, my grandmother would always make him a pineapple upside down cake. He was a child of 7, one of 7. So, obviously, things were shared between siblings, and, you didn't really get to celebrate necessarily on your own, except for my grandmother always did for his birthday. So this was something really sweet, and I know that he obviously misses her quite a bit because she's been gone for several years now. But I really wanted to make this pineapple upside down cake. So here I am. I have already designed out the actual mold of the cake, and then I am actually like cutting out little circles and molding them, and then using my little tool here to make an indent in the middle for the actual pineapple slice. So eventually I'm going to be placing some red clay to make it look like a little cherry, and that'll be the actual center. The other thing that I have done is just making sure it's very hard to keep this straight, but also not move around so much. So even though, you kind of try and hold it in place, I'm also trying to do like a little indent in the kind of around the center of the pineapple slice, if that makes sense. So basically, yeah, the little lines that I'm drawing here, just to kind of give it more of a realistic effect that it's, pineapple. So between that and just trying to keep it all in place, and then making sure I don't smush it with my fingers, is a bit of a process, but overall I think that it turned out pretty well. So here it is with all of the pineapple slices on there. And then we're going to go ahead and pull apart the red clay here. Interestingly, for whatever reason, depending on what clay you're using, I feel like it really does depend on the colors. Like the red is definitely a lot more firm, so it takes a lot more difficulty to like pull off and try to make the shape that you want. Whereas the yellow was super easy, didn't have any problems with it. Also have to take into account the temperature. Obviously we are quickly approaching summer, so it is starting to get a little bit warmer outside, so that's also another thing to keep in mind when you're like storing your clay, because perhaps that's why the yellow was so much easier to pull around and shape correctly, while the red was a little more difficult. Who knows? Anyway, now I am actually officially adding the red center to all of the pineapple slices, and we're gonna I have to laugh a little bit because a couple of times when I was rounding the pieces, and they would accidentally fall out of my hands, and honestly would actually end up perfectly inside the center, which worked out pretty well. But yeah, after we add all the center pieces, I am also going to actually use a brush that I have, excuse me, to add some texture to the sides. But before that, unfortunately, when I was trying to kind of smooth out the pineapple slices and everything like that, some of the details on it actually got a little smushed. So I'm just going back in and using my tool to kind of re-add those lines so it looks a little more familiar, hopefully. But after that, we will go ahead and use the brush tool that I have. And this is just something simple. I think that it's actually kind of useful. I have done this with, obviously, if you've watched some of my previous videos, I've done this with like my baguette slices, or my pieces of baguettes. bread, cookies, things like this. It's a really nice tool actually to give it a lot of texture, so it does look a little more realistic, like it is actually food. So I'm actually just going ahead and doing this, around the actual cake, and I'm doing it on the bottom here as well. So that way it kind of does look like, there's those little micro bubbles that, kind of give it that aeration that you would normally see in like a cake or any other sort of food. So I don't think that you can see it super well here, unfortunately, but assume that it is there. But after that, it is time to place it in the oven. I've been working on some other clay things, obviously, that we'll see later on in the video as well. But for now, this was the only thing that I needed to bake, obviously, because I needed to have it done for that night. So I'm going ahead and getting it baked. I think I baked that piece actually for only like 10 minutes, and that was really enough time. I didn't have any other issues with it. And now that we have our glaze, we're going to go ahead and get that on there so it becomes a little more shiny as well. Overall, I think it turned out really well, but we'll see the packaging that I use here in just a little bit. Yes, this was the packaging that I used. I had actually gotten it from a different clay artist that I had purchased something from, but clearly it worked pretty well for my reasons here as well. So always reuse packaging if you have it and you can, because why, buy more and create more waste. So yes. Best way to tell that I have not recovered from the time difference of Vegas. Currently it is 12:18, and I'm supposed to be up at 7 to go to church in the morning. But instead, I am making ice cream for tomorrow for Father's Day, because we're going to have a 3-course meal. So I got my heavy whipping cream, and I think we need some vanilla extract here in a minute. But first I gotta stir in this milk and sugar first, because we're going to make some homemade ice cream. So, yeah, sleep schedule is working out great so far. Alrighty, it is time to make some ice cream. I bet this goes fairly well, at least. And then we had this guy. Will actually help to churn everything, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, besides the fact that it was my dad's birthday, it was also going to be Father's Day, and within, obviously, Sunday. So we were making a 4-course meal. I wanted to make ice cream because we were making some fried apples as well. Cinnamon fried apples, there we go. And it turned out really well. My dad did love his gift, and now it was time to relax a little bit because Prince also just needed a lot of attention. The 4-course meal for Father's Day is almost done.
Asagao, baby.
So much food and so much time, and there's a duck in there, but I won't show that off until later. Asparagus. Honey is chopping up the basil. Well, after a very busy time for meal prep, we have successfully finished our 4-course Father's Day meal. I want to say that it went pretty well, honestly. Everything tasted good, and I think people enjoyed the conversation and spending time together. So, but yeah, you can tell it was a lot of frantic cooking because I had to put my hair up. I did not want to get in the way. But yeah, overall, a good time. But now it is time to clean up and relax with some more of the Spring Baking Championship, which I have really been enjoying over the last few weeks. So we will do that. So yeah, ultimately, Father's Day dinner, I think the total prep time, at least that day, took about 6 hours. But it was a delicious meal, and it was really fun because we got to have over my parents, obviously, my fiance's mom and stepdad, and then his dad. So altogether, it was a really nice time, and even though it took a long time and a lot of effort to make all of that food, I think everyone really enjoyed themselves, and it was just a good time to be had all around. But the other thing that I was super excited for was I actually got my very first clay commission. So someone had actually seen my little clay pineapple upside down cake, and I guess it reminded them of their own mother making them. I guess they also made them pineapple upside down cakes. So that just really made my heart happy, and I'm glad that my little clay work could, help remind someone of that time and also want one of their own. So I am going in here and making another cake, obviously. So this is going to be the slices of the pineapple upside down cake. I was trying like a different technique just to see if I could get a more kind of realistic, shape for this pineapple slices. I think they almost kind of look like little flowers, but I think that's really cute too. So hopefully they enjoy it. So yeah, we're adding them to the cake now. And then this is actually how it looked after adding all the slices together. And once again, we are using the extremely firm red clay. I could probably put this through like the pasta roller and see if that helped, but I just prefer to do it by hand sometimes, so it's fine. But yeah, again, we're using our texture brush here to give it a little more detail to the sides of the cake. And yeah, hopefully you can see it a little better here now that we're like doing it under a bright light. But yeah, this is how the cake is looking so far. And then they actually wanted a plate, so that is what I'm currently working on now. As even in the office, Prince watches from the sidelines and makes sure that the job is going okay. But yes, I am going to be making a plate here. So right now I had actually kind of smoothed out the plate shape already, but it was kind of big and obviously not working the greatest on this little slab that I have here, but that's fine. But I'm just cutting off the edges of it, so hopefully it's a little more uniform. And then I end up, after I cut off like the excess, I'm going to end up smoothing it out again. So we'll kind of just watch the process here. After that, I did want to kind of like do a different design for the plate, so I wanted to make kind of these ridges on the side of it just to give it kind of like a funky texture. I thought it would be kind of fun just to, do something different. I enjoy making plates. Obviously, I've made them before for when I've made like my eggs and bacon and my toast like clay pieces. Those are really fun. And those are, very uniform in shape. It's got like a little slant on the side. But I thought it would be fun to just kind of, make it almost look like a flower, but a little more funky. So that's what I end up doing here. And yeah, altogether, I think it's going to be a really cute process. But one of my thoughts is that I'm actually going to probably draw some lines after I've finished baking it. And then we will probably glaze it after that. So we'll see how it looks. In the process, I was also playing video games with my fiance and working on a wallpaper that I'm hoping to add for my iPad just to do something new. And then I've also been working on this guy. Okay, so very first attempt with a little capybara, hopefully. That's kind of the effect it gives off. Obviously still very new at sculpting this one, so yeah, for the first try I think it's not too bad. Obviously I still need to add like the little eyes and the face details, but that'll come later. And then this is what I was working on last night, but I have, hello Buffy, I have my little pineapple upside down cake for my first commission, and then I made a little platter to go with it. So I'm actually hoping I'll probably bake these separately. And what I'm going to do is, when I bake this, I will add like some, I think like white stripes possibly to the plates, just to kind of give it a fun effect and, add a little more color to it. And then obviously I'll see if maybe the person wants me to glue it to the platter, or if they would like it to be separate so they can always remove it. But yeah, so far I think it's going pretty good. Okay, so I think that this is finally my new square reader, which is super exciting. I'm hoping to use it because, well, for one, I got a new phone that doesn't work with, oh my gosh, hi Prince.
It no longer works with the jack on my phone, so I can't actually use it, which is unfortunate. But also, I really like the idea because, I mean, sometimes the card reader, when you would swipe through, since it's a little older, I'll show you guys in a little bit. Sometimes like if people's cards were kind of old, or it just sometimes didn't work very well if you like tried to swipe through. So this one is actually also a contactless one, so you can just like do the tap and, you know, pay. So I really enjoyed that idea. And here it is. This was actually kind of bigger than I was expecting it to be, so that's cool. And I love the design of the box. That's actually super cool. Oh, that really inspires me. Someday I think it'd be really fun to be able to design my own like box and everything for like maybe when I put my clay stuff in. But that is probably a very far off dream, but who knows, maybe someday. But yeah, we have our square reader. It looks like you can turn it on here. It also came with a charger, which is very nice. And I believe the instructions are also in here. So let's see. So yeah, getting started. Obviously it's a USB-C cable. So yeah, just making sure that you pair it obviously with your phone. So yeah, you can tap, dip, or whatever you need to do, and it also obviously works with your phone, so that is kind of nice. This is also important for how much battery you have on your square reader, because obviously it is wireless. Hi Princey, thank you. You're so helpful. So that is all good stuff to know, because obviously I hope to bring it to my next convention. That's gonna be, gosh, now it's in like a little less than 3 weeks. So I'm getting excited for that though, because I have already placed the orders for my keychains. So I'm really hopeful that they'll be there in time. We'll see what happens. As well as I've already designed one sticker sheet. I still need to print it out and cut it. And I'm hoping to maybe make another one just for fun, because why not? And also need to work on the display setup for my next convention. So lots of things still in the works. I'm hoping to do some new clay things as well, but we will see how it goes. So yeah, as you can see, I have my original square reader, and this is my very first square reader that I had. Honestly, it served me really well, and I will keep using it, obviously. I think it would be nice to have, like, if I have a friend or my fiance, family member, if someone else is with me, and like if it's maybe really busy, or if my own, like if the wireless one doesn't work, then we can just plug this in really quick. It is nice, and obviously, yeah, you can only swipe through. You can't like take contactless or like the tap for like credit cards. So in that aspect, it's a little more difficult, but it was also free. So free is nice. You can't really beat that. With my other one that I purchased, obviously, it is bigger hardware. You don't have to like pay for it, obviously, continuously. It was just like a one-time payment. That was $60 though, so ouch. But also, hopefully, I plan to use this for years to come, like over the next, several markets and conventions and everything like that. So excited to use it, hoping that it works well. I might end up doing like a test run for it, like before obviously I actually use it at a convention or market, just to make sure that it goes through properly. But yeah, overall I am very excited, and of course we will have to take off this sticker at some point and put it back out again, because I would like to show people that, yeah, you can obviously use credit card at my booth when you buy things from me. So yes, all exciting stuff. And that is actually all for today, friends. I hope that you enjoyed this one where we made, lots of new clay things and designing some new wallpapers and things like that. And I also wanted to put a little disclaimer and say thank you so much to all of you that have subscribed. Amazingly, we are past 500 subscribers, so that is super awesome. I am definitely planning in the next one, hopefully, or at least in the future, very soon, to like make I think maybe like a clay cake, or something that says 500, just something cute like that. So I hope that we can celebrate together that we have made it so far already. So look forward to that, or if you have any other suggestions to celebrate, please feel free to put them in the comments below. But we're also probably going to be hopefully planning out my Artist Alley display table next, and just working on a lot of new things. So I hope that you look forward to it. If you would like to, feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. And until the next time, I hope you all have a wonderful day.